Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you guys so much for joining. And I do have my special guest, Michelle. How's it going?
Awesome, brother from another mother.
Well, gosh,
the
energies have been nuts. You've been having headaches. I've been having headaches.
I woke up hardcore like I was drinking tequila last night. Trust me, I wasn't. That's what I felt like.
More water. I'm like, am I just getting dehydrated? And then when I was talking to Sherry Overprotected, she's like, I've been having a headache, and I'm like, gosh, a lot of people having headaches. You know, is it third eye opening
my neck
or?
Really sore, all in the neck and the back. So over the last, I've been dealing a lot in the back of the head. And feeling like there's water in your ears. Shri and Kira mentioned that too on their new Ascension symptoms video, which was nice to hear because and my mom mentioned it as well. Feeling like there's water, and the clicking got really bad. It seems to have eased up now the last couple days finally, but it was like having water in my ears and having this constant like click 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 click.
I've been having that too, like a creaking sound in your ear.
Yes, like a creaking.
Yeah. Bubbling or something weird.
Yeah.
I've been having that too because I'm like, it was really steady, and I'm like, what is that? And when is it going to stop doing that?
Like I got a cricket in my ear or something.
Yeah, that's
like
weird.
Did something crawl in my ear in my sleep?
Here's the last couple of days. I'm showing the last couple of days of the showing because we've been getting blasted. I mean, dude, this is like off the charts blasting pulses.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything like that since I've been watching, at least over the last years. And I went back and looked in the records. I was scrolling to see a blast like that. I heard somebody say like 2 years ago, which makes sense for me because man, what I dealt with 2 years ago, certainly was the rocket booster in my ascension process. Really was at this time of the year. And again, cyclically last year too. So I think that we're experiencing the same thing. It's these cycles that we go through, and it's just we're leveling up and upping the ante. And
this is actually the current, what it's currently doing right now, which is it's elevated a little bit, but not like these blasts we had.
We got a couple good blasts early this morning. I'm checking it constantly now because, to see it blast like that for such an extended period of time, and definitely felt that. Also noticed as well that day the sky, a rainbow halo. Mom tried to get a picture of it. It sort of came a little bit, but there was a halo around the sun, but it was rainbow colored, and I thought that was really interesting. And that was when the Schumann was off the hook. So
that's wild. Let me share my screen and let's see, do this. Okay, let me show. I just want to tell everybody how they can go. You can go to this link's in the description. You can go to Mr. MBB333's website and just click on Schumann here, and that will open up if you would like to keep an eye on it as well, like we have. And I did want to share this. That's why I shared my screen with you, because my Skies 5D, which I have this link below, he just put this out.
There you go.
You were just talking about this sort of
the rainbow. That's
iridescence.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing too. What we were seeing in the halo. Yeah, but you can see the rainbow colors. There you go.
It's amazing.
That's what I saw. Yeah, but in a full halo around the sun.
Thank you, My Skies 5D, for putting this video out, because this is just amazing stuff. And you guys need to check out the whole thing. It's
crazy.
In the description below. Okay.
And you can see them trying to spray the chemtrails up there to try to block this energy coming in. I think that's what it is. I think that's why they spray some days and not other days. And I think it's got a lot to do with the energy coming in.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to think that now.
It's really cool, though. Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So exciting times. We have today is the 19th. So this is the day that Shri and Kira were talking about. It's the last day before we move into this other phase of energy. And then, of course, we have the 222 portal. I plan on getting out in nature and daydreaming, meditating, just sucking up the bliss.
Well, today is the full moon as well. So, yeah, definitely a good time to set your intentions, right? And release. Let it go. Let it go. So, yeah, big theme. I have to say happy birthday to my oldest daughter.
Happy birthday.
Jess. It's birthday today. Yeah. So,
awesome.
Yeah, so I have to say that. Happy birthday, Jess, just in case she's watching.
Just in case.
You never know. This stuff's a little woo-hoo for her still, so.
Yeah, so you're settling into the new place. It's been, what, about a month now that you've been there?
So I've had, literally full moon to full moon. I arrived on the eclipse full moon, like literally that night. Like I was driving when the eclipse was going on, driving here, the 3-hour drive, and got unpacked. So it's literally been like full moon to full moon since I've been here. So that was interesting to be able to be on with you today and share that time wise. So I've definitely had the chance now to kind of, cause I went very quiet. I really hermited, and I was like, what is going on? Just really trying to feel things out. What is going on? What am I feeling right now? What process is going on? And definitely uncovered a lot of stuff. And really a big theme has been lifting away from the stories. It really has. We've talked about it. But what's been amazing over the last week is hearing other people bringing up the same theme as well of lifting away from the stories. Lisa M. Harrison mentioned it too in her newest videos, and just hearing, that's what I love is the affirmation, just hearing it, and the let it go thing. And that's what let it go started for me 2 years ago, like literally the song playing in my head, so it's like these key words and these themes. And when you see other people picking that up and experiencing it en masse, it's pretty amazing. That's really cool. So I can see that this process over the last month that has been a personal and individual process as far as settling into a new home and a new schedule and thinking and a new life, right? And a new way of being and all of those things, and really having the quiet and reflection time to do it. And still, I'm just totally focused daily on taking these energies and going through this process and understanding this process. And I'm really seeing the results for it, really experiencing the results for that now. And it's like I had time to settle in. And then now the energies are coming in, and it's like, all right, you good to go, kid? You ready to go? And, let's do this shift. Right? Let's do it. Shift. Yeah,
hey,
you
my
know what
Skies
to do.
5D
It hurts, but let's do it.
My Skies 5D just hopped in, and I wanted to say I was just talking about your video at the beginning. Anyone else that's hopping in, I put a link in the bottom because it's awesome. We were talking about the rainbow colors in the sky, and then I was like, oh, I got to share that video that you just put out. I didn't play the whole thing. I just played a couple clips, but definitely want to check that video out. So thank you for putting that out. Hey, Raleigh, and someone else had brought something up. Oh, Jess says, happy birthday, other Jess.
Other Jess.
Jessica. The full moon. What else was there? Oh, and then I wanted to talk about the headaches. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people that just hopped in. Have you guys been having headaches? I mean, like, I even tried to play a game with my son, and it was like where you're running around in a 3D environment. And I was actually getting nauseous. I was getting motion sickness, which does affect me in games sometimes, but way more than usual. And then just add it to the headache I was having. I was like, I just got to go to bed. I don't feel good. So a lot of taking naps You know, rather than sleeping a full night, it's like I get a headache, I got to go lay down. I don't know if it's integrating these energies.
It really, I think it is. It's like you got to tune out. Like when your body tells you it's time. And I know it's not easy for a lot of people with, you know, busy schedules and everything. So I'm so glad that I'm in the position now that I can do that. So, cause it's hard and it just hits you, and that's what you got to do. You just got to go rest. You've got to close your eyes and breathe and just tune out, because your body's got to integrate it.
One thing I've been noticing, and I was talking to Jose about this too, is like how much it seems to help to just stop. And they talk about this in the Wingmakers material too, to stop, really breathe in through your heart, just like periodically throughout the day, instead of trying to, you know, carve out an hour to meditate or 20 minutes or whatever, just to stop, because it only takes a minute to stop, really breathe in that good ass prana, as the infinite largest
breathe
guy says, or whatever.
Energy into your heart. And
then hold
feel
it for a moment,
in your heart,
and then blow it back out again.
As opposed to like having the routine at this time I have to go and I meditate for an hour and do. No, you know what, I think this is a totally intuitive thing. You know, and I think it's an opportunity now. Your body's telling you at those times what it is. So, you know, those pressures or whatever can build, and it is a good opportunity to say, oh, okay, I need to sit back within myself for a moment and breathe. And it's just, and it clicks, and it just becomes, you just do it automatically. You just start doing it automatically. And without even having to think, and you'll just start settling in, as opposed to, this is the way you practice this. Let your body and your intuition of your own personal experience guide you into what it is you need at that time. And I think that when this outside stuff gets too much, your body, your brain, your energy, you feel it. And you'll start to notice the feelings. And that's when you just go, okay, sit back and breathe it in. And then it's just going to become more and more of how you experience it without even thinking about doing it, without having to practice.
Yeah. And using those times of when you get triggered to do it too. You know, you read a bad comment, somebody cuts you off. You're like, oh, this is a good time to breathe in that prana and feel that bliss. And then blow it back out, you know, kind of be like, I don't know, like an antenna to breathe it in and blow it out and expand it out around you. And, you know, I'm starting to do that more and more whenever I think about it, because it only takes, you know, a few seconds, really.
Yeah. Well, I think especially with the triggers is the same sort of thing, like where you switch your thinking. So instead of a practice, it becomes a habit. And that's one of those things as well, is that when I notice like a rise up or like a comment flash in my head, you know, or a twinge or something, or, you know, the frustration, and we can feel those things more with this energy too. Like it can make you like,
totally.
But, and that's okay. Like if you're just feeling edgy, but what I'll notice is if a story pops up about why I'm angry, right? I have a reason to be, and it's the story that pops up. And that I'm finding, I objectively immediately look at, it's not about the other person, it's about me. It's not about the other person. So it's like not even wasting time at even looking at the other person of why I'm angry at them. It's immediately like, why are you being triggered? You know, about this, what is it like within me? So the reflection is, so I'm able to look at it like quickly, to honestly reference it to myself without judgment, and then release it without, it's less and less time that it's about the other person. Right. And that's becoming a more of a habit as opposed to practice. And I can laugh at myself. Like I can find humor in it instead of judgment even, and release it that way, you know? So don't take yourself so seriously too. Look, these things come up, you know, let them come up. Look at it for what it is, and be honest with yourself, and then, you know, laugh it off and move on. So we've all got that streak that likes to pop, the dragon that likes to rear its head. So
Yeah.
My dragon can be rather large and menacing.
Yeah. Where has the location of your headache been? Has it been moving around? Because I was feeling it in the center.
So a lot of what I've dealt with has definitely been in. Look at the light go away when I do that. A lot of it's been back in here, and then feeling that, and with feeling in back there, but as well, definitely the pressure here. The two main areas here, but like more in the last few weeks. But previous to that, earlier, I would say in January, I definitely dealt with real sensations on the very top of my head, like feeling like a beam was almost coming into the top of my head with the pressure. But really the last few weeks, it has been exceptionally tight around the back, and and feeling the neck and throat today. I think there's been a lot of throat activations going on. I've really been feeling that with the tingling. But yeah, so many things. The energy is pretty much a constant sensation now. Yeah, through the body in a variety of ways. Some pleasant, some not so pleasant.
Now, this has led to you going back to bed. You mentioned dreams. Do you want to talk about any of them, or?
Yeah, well, I went back to sleep today. Okay, this is I'll throw this one out here because I mentioned a dream before about a baby talking, and that theme came up again today because I was like I said, I felt like I drank tequila last night, and I had to go back and lie down again. And I know when it's doing that, I'm gonna get some serious dreams. If I go back and lie down at like 10 o'clock, and I slept for like at least a couple hours, almost 3 hours. And I was deep. I was running all over the place, like missions, definitely on, in haste. Like everybody was hustling. Superpowers. With superpowers, we had different powers. I was definitely in a team again. We had different powers. Some people could read things into people, or read situations, or read things. Other people could do things. That was two themes that I got: reading things and doing things. And they were working in tandem on assignments, and they had special gear. One person had it was like a piece like this, and then it went over. It was like they were wearing some piece of technology.
Oh, wow.
Almost like and went over their ear and then up the face, and then had like a circle here. So it was and they were a reader.
Very cool.
Yeah. This was just this morning. So, and it was, I got up from this, and I was stunned. It was so much, and so much information, and so much going on, so many people doing things, and us coordinating, working together. And we met up several times. I'd meet up with these guys but I was getting explained what was going on too. And yeah, there was definitely a theme to this. I was flying again. I was able to move around to wherever I want. I was having a blast. I was laughing because of how much fun I was having. So it was like there was a lot of serious stuff going on, but at the same time, I was like, yeah. Taking things rather, I wouldn't say lightly, but I was definitely having a lot of fun. But there was a baby in it again. And the baby was talking. We're talking like a 3-day-old baby, and it was talking very quietly. And I was mesmerized again by this baby, the love from its eyes, and the intelligence from its eyes. And I'm just taking hold of this baby, and I was in awe of it, and its lips were quietly moving, and it was saying words, and I'm listening. I'm like, oh, this baby is talking. And I just caught the tail end of what it was saying. And it said that you will understand these words in a few years. That's what I was. And I was able to bring that through.
Wow.
And it was like, you will be able to understand. But it was like the baby was telling, not just those words. It was like the baby was telling me that I will understand actually a lot more of everything that was going on within that dream. Not just what the baby was saying, but that everything that I was being told in that dream, like all the information that I was being given, that I will understand that in like in just a few years. Like it was like 2 or 3 years. It seemed like when I picture the time. That's what I got. And it was really so lucid.
And that was just this morning.
Just this morning. What an experience. Yeah.
That's that whole wake and back to sleep process they talk about.
In that time of the day.
Yeah.
And so, and I feel so much better. Like I feel like from comparatively to when I got up this morning, just like sludge, you know, do that. Right. and then I'm like, you know, no, I'm just going back to bed. And then waking up, and I completely feel energized right now. Like I feel this superhero feeling almost carried through, like, and the energy is completely different from where I started off. I don't know if I got released some stuff, but I definitely was doing some stuff in that sleep time. It was pretty wild. Yeah, it was pretty wild. So I'm still kind of like stunned from all that and still processing it, because it just happened a couple of hours ago, really. Yeah.
Is that really the only one you've had in the last week or so?
Seems to be taking over my mind right now, but I've definitely been having very vivid dreams. Yes. I'm trying to see if anything pops out to me.
Yeah.
Right now. It's but my mind's so taken up with all these stories, I think, of what I just experienced.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of the general themes. I know that there was something that changed. I did want to tell you about 3 days ago. It's not coming to me right now, but there was a shift. What I did want to talk to you, what I think that was interesting, it was another thing that Shri and Kira brought up with their ascension symptoms. And you guys should check this out, because their new ascension symptoms isn't just like the physical stuff, like the aches. They're real dimensional experiences now that they're explaining. And I was really blown away, because they were explaining experiences that I've been having. Like I could relate to all of the different experiences. That would sound completely loony if you didn't know. So there's really is new information there. Like I know we all love to get new information, and there really is new stuff. But she was able to describe in more in a sort of another way, in a bit more detail, of the experience of I've been carrying from the awareness of dream state, and the awareness of waking yet still being in dream, like this transition awareness, maintaining from dream until waking. And the description she gave, which struck me, was it was like dreaming, and you're still dreaming, but you're aware that your head is on the pillow. You're aware, like, so there is a dual awareness. And it was a good description that I didn't quite capture before, which I really appreciated. And that I've really been experiencing a lot. So I think that was really one of the things I wanted to share in regards to the dreams, in trying to explain or describe the sensation of this awareness, this dream awareness that's carrying over, and really is those two worlds merging, you know, as well. Likewise, the reality experience merging into my dream experience. So it's like my mind is maintaining an awareness of my waking reality and my dream reality, and merging the two so that my mind has access to both sides in either state.
Right.
I really think, and that this is part of this merging together and understanding these dimensions, I think, and how this is kind of coming into, it's really the picture that I've been trying to pull into perspective over the last few weeks that we've been talking about, you know, and trying to expand this idea and see where it's going.
Very good. Yeah, Barbara just sent me these pictures. Let me see if I can pull them up, or I want to share it so you can check it out, because she said this was probably from your area, the 401. Or is that where you used to live, or where you're at now?
No, I'm by the 401 still. 401 actually goes,
like all the way across Canada.
A bit, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, she said she took these on Sunday. Let me figure out how to pull it up here. Here we go.
There we go. I did a video. I put out a video on my channel of that.
Oh, you did?
I got before I moved. Yes. It was in December.
So,
a rainbow in the sky up in like right above me.
Can you see this other one that's like...
Yeah.
That's weird.
The two halos. Yeah. I've
like
seen that.
Coming together.
Yeah.
I think she's got another one here. Yeah, see, you can see it here again. That's wild.
And that rainbow one, I'm guessing, is not around the sun. I'm guessing that the larger halo is actually around the sun, because I caught video of that.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know when she took that picture.
Bow. It's like a sundog bow.
Yeah. When I saw it, back in December, it wasn't touching the other halo. The rainbow arc was actually like almost up directly above the head. So at the dome of the sky, whereas the sun was like probably an hour away from setting, you know.
Right.
And that was like right above. So it wasn't even as close to the sun. So it was a really weird place for a rainbow arc to just be hanging out in the sky.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I saw that. I'm not sure. I'd love to know when she took that picture. If it was the same time when I saw it back in December or not, when I captured
this was Sunday.
Video. This was Sunday. Yeah.
Let me double check. I'm pretty
so
sure
recent. That's awesome.
Montreal this past weekend. Yeah. Off the 401. Yeah. So yeah, it was just this past weekend while she was traveling to see her friends.
So we're just getting like random rainbows in the sky, like anywhere now.
That's wild, huh?
It is. I've seen it with my own eyes. Yeah. It's crazy. Beautiful. And so bright. It was so bright that I was inside the house, just glancing by the window, and it was like right, and I just caught like the tail end of the arc, and that's how bright it was that I caught my eyes from inside that. What is that? And went outside, and because even the film that I got doesn't do it justice to how bright it was, like how luminescent the actual rainbow was. Like it was giving off light itself.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Explain that one, Batman.
Yeah, Patty actually, one of the viewers, Patty, sent me a nighttime image of the moon, and it was super colorful, way more colorful. It almost looked like if the blue of the sky went away, it looked like the moon was the sun. It was really bright. You know, sometimes your camera adjusts and the moon's really bright looking at night, and then the rainbowy looking clouds around it. But I could imagine it was a daytime sky with no blue sky. It was just like a black space. Have you ever thought of what that would look like? It'd be kind of trippy, huh? Without a blue sky.
Maybe I'll paint it. Yeah. A lot of, I'll mention too, another symptom I've really been having. I haven't had a hard time like this with my stomach. The intestines. Well, like, so a couple other people I've heard brought it up, and I've really been experiencing that over the last month. Like I haven't, and I've cleaned up. I've cleaned up my diet stuff. Like there's nothing that's changed in my diet to explain that. Mm-hmm. And it's wrenching. Wrenching. The other thing was cold on the inside.
Painful or
painful. Yeah.
Oh,
like
okay,
like being squeezed.
I've had a lot
and like my guts are being emptied out. It's awesome. It's not fun. Yeah.
I've had a lot of stomach growling. And I'm like, why is my stomach growling so much? Am I going to get sick? But then I never get sick, and I don't know what the heck. It's just like what's going on down there?
Making noises, random noises. I've had that. Making like a random. It's just me.
Like, are these warning sounds?
Yeah. Is somebody talking? Is there really somebody in the room? My stomach's got a voice of its own. I had a really interesting experience last night, actually, where I got very cold from the inside out, like ice cold, and it was in my stomach area. It felt like my stomach was like ice, like my insides got very, very cold from the inside out. It was a very weird feeling.
I think
really
somebody
was.
mentioned that would be a symptom on one of the channels I was watching, I think.
Yeah, and I think I'd heard it too. So, yeah, and it
Was
was
it Paul
really...
Butler, maybe? Or was it
I'm not
Higher
even...
Self? Or I watched so many different videos, and
Yeah, I know, and I've watched
to...
a few, because there's so many with the symptoms and everything
Kira,
kicking in.
even. I don't know who it was. Did Kira mention that, maybe? You can't remember. You watch a lot of videos, dude. It's hard to keep up, isn't it? I'm like, and then I get to the point where I'm like, was that on my show, or was that a guest, or was that a video I was watching? It gets so confusing.
Did I dream that, or did I really do it?
Let's not even bring up the dream thing, because we talked about that, right? How, like, you think about something, you're like, did that happen in real life or in the dream? And you were just mentioning that whole scenario, and I wanted to mention it then, that, you get these memories and then you can't remember. It seems to be a tearing down of the veil or something. I don't know. These are fun,
really
exciting
blurring.
times,
It really is. And again, I'm finding more dream memories coming to me than life memories. And that's like, for the amount that it is, like, constant through the day. And it's not just a memory. It's really a resonance and everything that comes in with it. It's like a flush of experience that comes in with it. And I almost feel the surroundings around me of that experience, like you're almost wearing it again. I just got a twinge on that one. They like that one. Yeah. So that's really been coming in, especially because it really has quieted down for me here too. Like, my whole surroundings are quieter, and I'm just doing so much artwork. I'm really just painting, drawing, and learning piano every day.
I know I forgot something. That's the whole thing. I wanted to show some artwork. I had doodled and drawn some stuff. And I had some stuff from Allison Coe off her Instagram that I was going to share. And I totally forgot. That was actually last week. This is 2 weeks now. I've forgotten to share. But
that's okay. I get it.
Get busy with the art and,
yeah.
Oh, and what was the other thing? Oh, it's great to, like, listen to podcasts and just kind of just let it go and stuff. Actually, Allison Coe said she does it during her sessions while she's listening. She'll just kind of be letting her, creative brain doodle and draw things, and it's really, really cool artwork.
That's what I do, and I've been doing like a bit of everything, but I try to practice the doodling side of things almost daily, really, because it really opens up your imagination. Like, it really opens up your mind. It pushes you to keep, switching things up and not get stagnant and keep loose and keep on my house. I can show you guys. I don't know if you'll be able to see it clearly, but so I've been finding when I'm working that I'm getting a lot of these flashes of memory and stuff come in. This is funny because I started drawing. This isn't finished, but I've been trying to practice setting my video camera so I can record these for you guys. This is just the outline. I still have to fill it all in, but I started recording, just trying to practice to set up and see what works and what doesn't. So I have been working on it. But then I saw this pattern somewhere else. Who showed this? The video we were talking on Higher Self. The one we were talking about Higher Self, and she was showing pictures, but she showed it like this.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember the one we were talking about where she was shaking, she was having the muscle twitches?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It was one of their newest videos.
Like this picture, and there was white in the center of it, and she drew it. She showed a couple pictures, and she pulled this, and she showed it, and I'm like, oh my, that's what I drew this. Like, this is totally made up in my head, doing these lines and stuff,
you're tapping in.
And here I'm watching the video, and she pulls that up, and I'm like, oh my, that's yeah, wild. Or maybe it was Shri and Kira too. I don't know, but yeah. So I did this. I've been working on this pattern, and I'm gonna fill all the details in, right? And was recording it. Hopefully for you guys, it works. So and practice editing that. But I wanted to share that. That was really interesting to see. Like, that's what I was drawing.
Yeah.
And she was holding. She's like, "This is really important." She's pointing at this white light. This is really important, and I'm like, "Oh, I guess so," because I was just drawing it. There's a little doodle from me. Doesn't make any sense at all.
That's cool though.
I don't know how well you can see the detail, but that's just let your mind go. This is one of my newest books. I just started this book. It's nothing. It's just You just let the mind go and don't judge what you do. Oh, I like this one I did.
Yeah, very nice.
If you can see the moon. I like the moon. Wash. Yeah. Because you guys saw the first. You saw, I think I showed you this one, right? I did. I got my watercolors in. I ordered this book and I ordered some gouache and some watercolors, so I've been filling it in. But and I called this one. Did this when I first got here, and I called it Inhale because I knew it was like an inhale moment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, let's see your stuff.
My stuff's in the car, actually.
So you keep forgetting. Okay, next week I'm gonna remind you then.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Everybody wants to see Shane's art next week.
And mine's the same way, where I'm just doodling and just keep doodling and
yeah,
just kind of create, whatever comes to mind or whatever.
And you know what? And if you don't, the coloring books are great. Honestly, it sounds silly, but
I'll get it ready. I'll get Allison Coe had a few great pieces I wanted to share. I'll get some of mine. And then Irene in Australia sent me this beautiful blanket that she did herself. I mean, it's huge, and it's so big it's hard to take a picture of it, but I want to take a picture of it and show the design that she created. It was such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. This one was, I was getting ideas for all different kinds of energy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see that.
It's beautiful. Is it all black and white?
Yeah, it's just ink. It's just pen and ink. See?
Wow, I can almost see an iridescence in that part you're showing right there.
You have to kind of zoom in to see the details. It's all different energy. I was trying to picture, what does different energy look like?
That's very nice.
Yeah. And there, lightning. And that's just doodling. No planning at all. Just pen and ink, right? No judgment. Just draw. Just draw.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're inspiring me again. Thank you so much.
Good. Well, you bring your artwork next time.
Okay. I'll work on some more too.
And I am working on videos. I'm trying to, I've got the tripod set up, and so it's a little tricky, trying to work around how I can do it. So I've been trying to figure out that setup. I already filled my memory card.
I'm actually going to get out in nature too, so I'll work on some pieces out there and just enjoy.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to taking my paints outside out here. I'm just sitting out all day and painting a tree just for fun. Yeah.
Oh, Riley, you can actually email me if you have something that you want to make sure I get, because I didn't, unless I just overlooked it, but you can go to uotf.net. It's under my name on the screen, and send me a direct message, and that way I can, then you can send links or whatever too if there's something you want to share. Because I think I might have missed it. Or I can go back and check the chat later. But I think I missed it.
There was another symptom. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Planets are making major moves. Do you know anything about that? Planets making moves or anything?
I mean, I've been listening to the alignments, as in, Paul Butler, Aluna is great with talking about the different alignments, and that we're going into. So,
it's amazing
how much
kind of
listening to that. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how much you can watch and still not be caught up on everything, Did you mention, I'm like, I think I missed Aluna. So it's like, I just see what pops up, and I get so many notifications that it's like whatever one I'm looking at when it pops up is usually what I'll go see or whatever. Or sometimes I'll start one and then so to be in my history and I can go back and watch it later. But then sometimes I don't get to it and it gets buried in my history. And
I know.
But I don't worry about it. I know I'll see what I need to see. And
I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of do it intuitively too.
Yeah.
So.
And I've missed stuff before, and then somebody sends me an email with it, and I'm like, okay, I guess I wasn't supposed to miss that one, so.
Exactly. But there definitely has been a new fountain of information and new experiences, I really think, and a lot of new, which is a bit refreshing for us. And I think to be expected, understandably, with coming back, it's been a year for us, coming back a year around, to this cycle. And and how we're experiencing it this time. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
There was something else that the Tree and Kira mentioned, which I was really kind of blown away with too, that I had been experiencing and sort of noticing in my own head, and was feeling taller. And she described it too, and it's funny because I had just experienced the previous day the same feeling, like in the kitchen. She was describing like cooking in the kitchen, and feeling like you're taller than you are, like. And I've been feeling like this for a few weeks, but it's just funny that scenario, like in the kitchen, like chopping vegetables, and it's like you're aware of your physical body being there, doing the thing, but then it's like but feeling like I'm above that, looking down like higher, but I literally feel taller, and it's. Please go watch her explanation, because I'm still struggling with it. But the fact is that I have been, for the last couple weeks, being struck on many occasions, sort of feeling myself being in this awareness, but feeling like I'm taller and wondering, am I taller?
Yeah.
I'm asking myself.
Kira was talking about this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. In the newest
and
video?
It's an unusual thing and a new thing. And I never would have thought of that. Like I knew it was part of my experience, but I didn't. I thought maybe with the physical changes that I actually am getting taller. I don't know. Like I mentioned to Mom I'd like to check my height again to see. But it literally is like you're kind of viewing things you're viewing things from here, but you're also viewing things from higher. But still here. And
I was thinking the same thing, Jody. She's saying higher self, Michelle.
Yeah. Literally.
Literally, yeah.
Literally. But just wow. So interesting to hear her explain that. And I was like, whoa, I was dumbstruck because I've been having those same thoughts. So there were a lot of great validations in that, on experiences that I don't know if I would have mentioned to you guys otherwise. You know, like, because there's some things like, am I taller? I don't know. Am I losing my mind? I don't know. But I'm having fun. Yeah. So
that's the main thing, isn't it? It's keeping your joy up, keeping your happiness up, doing the things you love to do, and
cutting yourself some slack.
Yeah, cut yourself some slack for sure.
Cut yourself some slack. It's not easy. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not easy at all.
So what else is everybody else saying? Are they having any new interesting experiences, or?
Let's see. They're talking about all sorts of stuff here. Yeah. Raleigh is say when people say Saturn and Venus conjunct. This is Genesis 3:15. The Saturn serpent's head is crushed. See, when people talk about all the planetary alignments and stuff, I'm totally a noob to that stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know. People say that Mercury's in retrograde and stuff, and you're going to have like electronic. I'll have the electronic problems, but I don't know nothing about I don't really watch that stuff, so it's a lot.
It definitely has its push and pull. It really does, and affects certain areas. It can get very specific. The information, that's the really interesting thing, is that the information can get very specific.
Eyes fluttering
based on alignments.
I think I've had some eyes fluttering stuff too.
Yes, some twitches again in the face.
Not the eyelids, but the eyeballs. She's saying, and I've had that where like your vision, like kind of your eyeball.
Yeah, I've definitely been experiencing more of the vision things
without the MDMA. Right.
Yeah, without the without the MDMA. Yeah, the trails without the drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing though, how it does seem like we're shifting into areas that you would normally need some help with a psychotropic or psychedelic drug or something,
Yeah. It really the vibrations of things physically too.
Yeah. Things in the movements in the corner of your eyes and
that's really me picking up. And like the day that the Schumann was going off the hook, like I was sitting here, this is my drawing table by the window, this is my little work area, and it was like you know, I'm looking at what I'm doing, but the whole time it's like little sparks, things, movement. And, you know, some of it's peripheral, but some of it's like a little spark just went right across.
I'm glad you said that, because it has been at my very extreme edges of my vision. And it seems to be moving closer and closer, because I always wonder that, you know. But then I understand the way the eyeball works with the rods and the cones, and you'll notice that, like, if you're in a dark room at night, it's hard to see directly where you're looking at, but your peripheral vision is more sensitive to the darkness or to light, you know. So you can almost see better in the dark if you don't look right at what you're trying to see in the dark. But I think
you got to loosen the focus on your eyes.
Yeah, and I think that has something to do with, you know, maybe the cones or the rods are starting to pick things up a little bit better. And then as we transition and change and shift more and more, we'll be able to see things more in our direct line of sight. Because I think they're there. I just think you're not seeing them, you know, because you're not.
I think it's a third eye coming online too, literally. Because I do meditate as well. Like if you meditate like eyes open on a fixed point and loosen your vision, and do that for a while, you'll definitely see some, and it really is like it becomes, you're not seeing through the eyes anymore. It really is through there, and the perception of everything changes, and you'll see that's when you really, so I play with that a little bit.
Something I do that kind of goes right along with that, you know how you can be staring at something and you can shift your focus from your right eye to your left eye. Like you can really pay more attention to your right eye or pay more attention to your left eye. And you can do little things like putting your fingers in front and, you know, like this one blocks this eye, this one blocks this eye. And you can work on shifting your vision back and forth, right? But then you can actually consciously shift your vision to your third eye, just like you shifted back and forth.
Right.
Shift it to your mind's eye. And so I've been doing that more too, like purposely trying to shift my consciousness.
And how do you do it? Do you think? Is there something a visual, or is there something, or are you just the sensation, or you tune in?
I just consciously move it, and it feels like I stop paying attention to these two eyes and start paying attention to the other one. And if you close these two eyes, you'll notice that some of the violet flame stuff you see when you're meditating and stuff moving around, you'll notice that more and more. So it's like always there. It's just you're not paying attention to it, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I get like
the more
smoky,
I play with it,
like okay,
You'll get some green and gold sometimes with the purple.
Yeah, you'll get more. Yeah, it'll blur right out, but
just playing with it, because I think a lot is there, and we're just not paying attention to it. We've we've got these senses that we haven't used, and they're just kind of. It's kind of like if you're in a room, you know, and then you leave and you come back and you're like, oh, I didn't realize it smelled like this in here until I left and came back, you know. I think it's just there and you don't pay attention, you know.
Yeah, you just get used to just using your eyes. I think that's it. And we've had to practice and get used to using our third eye again as it comes online, right? Yeah. So, I almost dive backwards. I don't know. It's something I do where I used to do that as a kid. I used to do backward dives off the diving board. Oh, wow. And there's something I do in my head that's like diving backwards. And it's like I do that. I don't know. There's some kind of sensation or some kind of thing that I do where it's like that motion for me, or that experience for me, where I'm like,
That's cool. You should try that with getting out of body. I heard that if you get to that state where you're starting to feel the vibrating, like you're in the bed or whatever, you can do what you're talking about. Somebody said they imagine being on one of those roller coasters that really go around real fast, and they get flung out of their body. So you just concentrate on that feeling of that flinging you're talking about, and sometimes you can fling out of your body and have an out-of-body experience. So.
I think cool, I'll have to try something like that. Yeah, I was actually thinking, you know what, I was thinking last few days of trying some new hypnosis videos about out of body, because I think because I get so much out of my dreams in my lucid travel in my dreams, and I think out of body in my dreams, but I haven't practiced it so much, like setting an intention to have an out of body experience like that outside of dream. right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so I've been thinking about that again lately. But maybe, yeah, time to try some new stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because even if you've tried it before, the way the energies are, you might have a completely different result now, you know?
Yeah, well, there's definitely a lot being getting activated. And I think that's what one thing that was coming up in the dream the last few days as
Mm-hmm.
well. I think that was one of the things that I was supposed to mention to you, was the level of activations, like really feeling like I was understanding that things were getting turned on online in my sleep. You
Yeah.
know, it's like they go by like flick, 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 like, yeah, when I don't know, taking off in an airplane or whatever, and they have all the little switches, and it's like they're just going, all right, we're gearing up, flick, 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 flick. They're flicking all the switches. That's what it really feels like. Yeah. So I think with the experience, the telekinesis experience in Dream on the 30th, I think was a really big thing for me to understand that more activations and new activations are coming online. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you thinking, I'm kind of expecting, I know I'm excited about now, we got the full moon again and the 222 portal, but I'm really excited about the equinox here in like a month. I'm thinking
Yeah.
a lot seems to
Yeah.
happen there. A lot of people waking up to the Mandela effect at those times for some reason. It seems like that shift in the energies as,
Mm-hmm.
as we pass through the equinox. And I mean, it has to be, they've known about this for a while. I mean, if you think about like the pyramid, is it Machu Picchu, the one where it looks like the serpent's descending on those equinox dates because of the way the
Right.
sun hits the pyramid and it creates that shadow, the play of shadow and light or
That's
whatever.
right. Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep.
they've known about it for a while. So it's like we're
Yep.
just kind of rediscovering a lot of this stuff that was known knowledge at some point.
Relearning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Well, if I look, I think it was March 26th where I had the lucid dream,
Hmm.
where I did feel the wave energy, and it really was like it was going home to God, feeling, and more real than real. It was incredible, and that's where I dreamt the wave coming in, and it was just like all you could do is just praise God,
Hmm.
and you just wanted to sing. Like it was just so the the glory of it, and the love and everything, and just feeling the magnitude of it. It's no other experience like it. So, for me, I feel that that's how my personal way of how I experienced that energy coming in at that time. And I think different people, experience on different days in different ways.
Hmm.
It really is a unique experience. But in looking how, and because I'm seeing the cycles more clearly and understanding what is going on, and looking, since 2012, Mom and I were talking about everything that's happened since 2012 and the progression of things and the cyclical nature of things and the energies. This is a pivotal time for me. It really is. It has been repetitive. It's up the ante each year. So I do expect great things. I don't know what I'm going to experience, but I'll be experiencing something, and I'm sure it'll be a level up from the previous experiences. And I'm good with that.
Progressing along.
Yeah, whatever that may be, whatever it may be, I'm really keeping my mind open to it, because I wouldn't have been able to imagine how I would experience it before. So, I think it'll be a unique and original experience when it happens, and how far it takes me or how much it does, I will see the results of it. So just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you finding you're becoming more content with however long it takes, just
Oh yeah.
writing it out and
As
more
opposed
than
to
you used
last
to?
year.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Or the year
Oh
before
yes.
even it seemed like last year I began to really start to just really enjoy the ride rather than want to get out
Yeah.
of here so bad.
Well, listen,
You
it's
know?
hard when you're just getting through by the hair of your chinny chin chin,
Yeah.
you're just struggling to do it, and it can be really hard. And I've certainly been through some really hard stuff in order to get where I am. I had to release a lot of things in order to be free. So it's definitely a process and not an easy process. And a lot of time, last year there was certainly times where it was like, I just, can we just get on with this? I don't want to do this, or I don't want to be here, or whatever. But no, I really did reconcile with that, and understanding the free will experiment and understanding my commitment to giving my free will back to God. Yeah. I really do. And I really made that agreement deep within myself. So I'm okay with it, and really, like, whatever God needs me to do, I'm okay. Because I understand I'm infinite. Like I understand it. So it will be, and there's a way better plan than what my consciousness on this level can perceive. And I trust my higher self, and I have faith in God and this energy. I felt the energy. I have felt the love. I have felt it. So I know it's real. And I know that's going to be my experience all the time. And that the divine timing is what I trust in. So, and I think when you can do that too, how much more quickly you lift, because you release your expectations, and then it just allows you to lift up into that experience even higher and accelerate through it even quicker. I really do believe, but it's not easy. It's not. And I understand. And when you're feeling hard and you're feeling like, you just don't want to do it anymore, then fight for what brings you joy in your life. Fight for it.
Yeah. Because
it's worth it. Your joy is worth it. Not everybody's expectations, and even your own expectations on yourself of what you think is required of you and what everybody else thinks is required of you. Fight for your joy. Yeah. And it can be the simplest thing. The simplest thing. It doesn't have to win a Nobel Peace Prize. It just has to bring you joy.
And that's really, I think that's like the most important part about helping this whole process along too, because if you get a little too antsy or impatient, then you're not resonating in those higher vibes. You're like, not only are you like not high vibe yourself, but you're not like radiating that high vibe.
And that's
helping the process.
Yeah. And sometimes when we're low too, like we all take a turn where we just can't radiate that shift right now. Right? I'm getting really good at popping that in where I would normally.
You are.
But, and we just don't want to. You just don't want to. Well, you know what? That's okay too. At least give yourself comfort. Recognize the things that give you comfort, that make you feel that love home feeling. Maybe it's even like childhood comfort when you were feeling down. What were the things that made you feel better when you were a kid? Simple stuff. If you had that good mom that did those things, when you were, be that for you and give yourself that kind. And I think that's one of the things when you're feeling that down, like, you just don't want to do it. Love yourself. If just love, think, if you were your child feeling like that, how would you love yourself? How would you do that? So give yourself that love. It's okay if you don't want to jump up for joy. I get it. I really do. I did not want to jump up for joy this morning. Okay. But it does come and go. So, but yeah, at least just give yourself the hug, just give yourself the comfort. Yeah.
Yeah. I was laughing at Dan from Talk is Cheap. He was on the hour before us, and he said something like, the guys up in the UFOs holding back the energies from hitting the earth until we're ready. And he's like, well, how about you guys come down here? I'll go up and hold the energies back for you guys. And I'm like cracking up laughing, because you do really feel like that sometimes. You're like, what the heck's going on with this?
Why don't you pop yourself in the microwave for a little while?
Exactly.
Right? And I'll go up there and just have a little spa and some bliss for a bit, okay?
Exactly. Yeah. So you got to laugh, you know. It's
my bliss spa.
Yeah. So he got my bliss up. His joke got my bliss up because I was cracking up laughing.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? And you gotta laugh. Like I said, don't take yourself so seriously. But that's part of the frustration sometimes. But there is a bigger, better plan. And I think even if you can look back at the course of your own life and events that happened, that often difficult things have brought in their own miracles, or have brought in their own progress or in process in all of this, and in ways that we didn't realize at the time, or that can be really hard at the time to do, you know, because you are tough enough and you are strong enough and you can do it. And
nobody's going to do it for you. That's like one of the main things I had to learn with the whole I am discourse, is that nobody's going to do it for you. You've got to take that role of keeping yourself up. I mean, otherwise you
I think that's why we deal with the alienation.
Yeah, we become
right.
Yeah, exactly. But we have to live our life.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah, I think it was Dave Wilcock that had brought up what was the whole thing he was saying about, in his latest video, it was really good. He was just explaining this whole process and how, you know, you can't just live in a cave. You have to engage in everything around you and do it well, you know? So it's like, it's a lot of work. And somebody's saying it's hard being a human. It is, but you know, at the same time, it's a shift in perspective is really all it takes. It's like everything you have is within you. You don't need any external thing. And that's probably been my greatest lesson with this whole thing, is that I don't have to look to be saved by some galactic family coming down and beaming me out of here, or some solar flash event. I mean, I just feel the best when I rely on myself. If that's something like that happens, I'm totally happy with the energies helping me out. But, you know, a lot of times it leads to inactivity, because you're like, oh, this date things are going to happen. Okay, I'll just sit back and wait. But that's not the right approach. You know, you got to stay involved in part of it, because it's like you're getting the help. It's not being done for you, though. You still have to do it, but you'll get assistance, and you can ask for help. You know,
what if you are the event?
Yeah, each one of us are our own event, really. Yeah.
Event. Yeah, you, and you're waiting for that to come to you. But literally, what if it's with you? Because if this is a reality that we're projecting, that's what it's putting out of our experience. And that's why I think it starts in here. Like it starts, and then, because I think that we've been putting in this work, that we will see the physical manifestations of it within our reality, because we have given birth to that event within us. What if it is really actually us that is far more powerful through all of this than any, ET help or whatever it is, besides the Almighty himself, obviously. That's the energy that's in us.
Exactly. That's the thing. We have that divine spark within us. Yeah.
Yeah. That's that going home is just the spark wants to, return to the, original, to be with all the other spark, the bigger spark. But yeah, that's part of it. So it really is growing that within you in order to manifest that result. Like, we've been learning how to master this manifestation and then instant manifestation process and working up to it. But we have to do it ourselves and learn it ourselves. And nobody can do it for us, because we are projecting out our experience.
Exactly.
So you can't feed off of somebody else's projector.
It's that whole thing where Abraham Hicks talks about becoming that vibrational match for what you want. Yes. So if you're sitting there and you're feeling like impatient, like, all you're doing is attracting more of that impatient feeling to you. But if you're sitting there and you're like really enjoying life, doing art, whatever makes you happy. Some people like gardening or cooking or whatever it is that makes you happy. Do what makes you feel joyful and happy, and stay in that blissful state, and you'll begin to attract more and more of that to yourself. Yeah. And then it'll change the world around you. And so that's why I like coming together, because it feels good for all of us to come in and chat and be able to hang out for a while, and just that whole fellowship of being with like-minded people and not being looked at like you're crazy and stuff really helps get your vibes up. So we come here and we fill up. This is like the Starseed Lightworker gas station. So we come in here, we like fill up on each other's energy.
Fill up your vortex, man. Yeah. I think, you know, and that's it. I think that I am physically feeling the experience of this, of the vortex, like within me too, and feeling that it really is like, you drop in, into the vortex.
Yeah.
Right. And you drop those things in, but you're the one that does it. And then it, out into your world. Right.
Yeah.
And into your experience, but it really is you. So, all of this is stripping all this stuff away so you can be aware of your own vortex and the power of that and the energy of that within you. So then you can go, okay, sit back, believe, have faith, and then release, let it go, not grasp to it, but let it go. And then boom, like magic, it just, there it is. It's your experience, right? We can't clutch onto these things. We just have to know that once they're in there and they're in the vortex, then they're going to manifest. That's it. That's it. So
awesome time to be alive and to take part in this whole shift. You know, the shift's getting real. You know? Shift's
getting real and shift's going down.
What do you have? Do you have anything coming up that you want to talk about or anything? Working on anything or?
Just like I said, you know what? I'm still, you know what? If you guys, I would love to do some interviews with people. I'm literally just like each day, what do you feel like doing right now? And been working with the interviews. I'd love to get back on and do some videos. I just haven't been pulled to any stories. I haven't been, right? But at the same time, I do want to get back out there and get talking with you guys again too, you know, on the channel. If you guys have questions or topics that you do want me to talk about, I'm really open to suggestions right now. So, because I'm just not being led to anything, and I've really been pouring myself into work, and I've been working on trying to sort out and learn how to record some of that work. But if anybody would like to come on with me and talk about their experiences at all, I'm open to that. You can email me because I think I'd like to get more to a personal level again. As opposed to, I'm not so interested in the stories anymore. I pulled away from that. I still keep an eye on perspective. You never know if something really, inspires me. Great. But for me to invest time on technology, constructing a story upon a story, doesn't work for me right now. I've learned that that's what it is. Took me a little while to learn what the resistance was. But I figured out that was, but I would love to be chatting with you guys and talking about these experiences, talking about dreams, talking about your experiences, any of those things. So, yeah, if anybody wants to join me to encourage me to get back on and do a video, because I haven't in so long now. But if anyone who wants to join me to get out there and do a video again, that would be great.
Yeah, especially if you guys have any dreams you want to share or anything like that, that would be awesome. I do have your email address on the screen, wolf.art101@gmail.com. And that is Wolf with an E on the end.
Yes.
For our visually impaired friends out there.
Yes.
Okay, so, I did want to mention, because the next show, for me anyway, is going to be the Friday Night Love Stream, and it will be syndicated on Oneness Talk Radio.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so we will be simulcast. Not only we'll be here on YouTube or whatever, but you can also hop in on Oneness Talk Radio. I do have that link down below. Super excited about being part of that whole family on that radio station, Oneness Talk Radio.
That's awesome.
Yeah, turning a new page, a new chapter. I'm excited to be expanding. So,
that's great.
Check it out.
I'll be there. I'll be there then for sure. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Michelle, and we will be back next Tuesday.
Of course. Unless, but yeah.
Unless the shift hits the fan, right?
Unless the shift hits the fan. But I think I'll still be here. I think that's part of the deal. I think is to share these experiences with you guys, right?
Yeah.
So, and and I want to continue to do that. I can't believe it's been a year since we've been doing it, and I think we're going to have a lot to talk about over the next few months. That's for sure.
Awesome. Well, until next time, you guys, we love you guys all in the chat. Thanks for being here with us and being part of the shift that we're in.
And send me an email.
Yeah.
Come talk with me, guys. I need somebody to encourage me to get back on and do a video.
Yeah, Mel, send me drop me an email. You can actually email me through the website that's on the screen just below my name, uotf.net. And yes, if you have pictures for the Monday show, please do send them, and I'll check them out. And
oh yeah, I gotta get you. I get you. Mom's got EMPs, or is it, with the audio
EVPs?
Recordings.
Yeah.
With the audio recordings.
EVPs.
She's got
Yeah.
EVPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, not EMPs. EVPs. She's got some crazy stuff. She's got her master's in parapsychology.
Really? Send them over, because we're doing EVPs this Monday. Actually, Sherry's brother had this recording, and I actually took it. I was able to clean up the sound, and you can make out what's being said. He was all alone, and you can hear the machines running, but I was able to like pull out the sound of the machines to leave just the voices there. And you can hear it's going to be amazing. So you guys, if you're into the paranormal,
you won't believe what my mom
strangeness, and then we can present that stuff since we're kind of on the EVP topic. I'll probably get that clip of there's one of channeling Eric. There's been some really cool EVPs that's been captured while they're channeling Eric, like where you'll hear him say it in the background and they don't notice for months or whatever. So maybe I'll pull that clip out too. For you guys, because we'll make it all about EVPs this Monday, especially if you have some stuff to send. So,
well, Mom, we'll have to,
she might not want to be in the limelight, but we can play it,
Well, yeah, I'll talk to her. But no, I think she should. She'll get out there. I'll drag her out there. She's, no. No. So we'll get her out there because this is important information. It's really amazing. Yeah. So.
Here, get her feet wet. Have her do some cameo appearances. Just walk behind you a few times or something.
I have to get on and do a video myself.
Yeah. Have you done any since you've been there?
No. I haven't. I don't
know.
Like
you're on vacation, huh?
Yeah, just nothing has just quite pulled me yet, Yeah. So, but something will, or hopefully one of you guys will.
Yeah, in due time. Everything's working out just as it should.
Yeah, I was gaining perspective and sort of taking a big breath in, big inhale, I think.
You got to do that sometimes. Sometimes when the shift's getting so deep, you just got to,
Yeah, readjusting. All righty.
See you guys next time. Peace.
Love ya.
If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.